your senses to feel into this new space that we have arrived in.
I'm getting like two simultaneous images, which I don't know if it makes sense, but there's one in a field of some kind, and then there's one in the spacecraft. But I'm just being shown them. They're separate scenes, but I'm being shown them both at the same time.
Okay. And which do you feel like exploring right now?
Both the same. Go on the ground.
Okay. So let's explore first that scene, that field. And as we're allowing the soul to speak today, and these images from that place with the field are flowing from the soul and into the mind. What has popped into your mind when we moved through that scene and onto the other side, trusting our first impression? And tell me what is in the mind's eye.
Been through this field with grass or something that's very high. But I think it's because I'm very small.
Okay. And I want you to connect very deeply now, very deeply, and tell me more about what you see or experience as you wander through this field.
I'm looking for something. I've been walking for a very long time, and it feels like this field is never ending.
Mm. Okay. Do you
It's
know what you are looking for?
tiredness and hunger, I think.
Mm.
Food, shelter, something.
As you become aware of your point of perception, the place of which you're viewing this from, if you look down at your feet, tell me what your feet look like.
Kind of brown little sandals.
Okay. Does the body feel masculine or feminine or neither?
I can see from the outside it's a little girl.
Okay. A little girl. And does the body feel healthy?
Well, it would have been healthy. It's just she's hungry
Mm.
and lost and bewildered, doesn't know.
Mm. And what sort of clothing is she wearing on her body?
Got a little summer dress.
Mm. And why is she bewildered and hungry? Really feel into that.
Something's happened in the place where she lived. She's had to run and, and leave.
Mm.
But she got lost and she's in this field, and so she's it's huge, this field. There's no real way for her to to get out. She's tired and depleted and she hasn't got enough resources. They won't she won't have enough resources
Mm.
and there is no one around.
Mm. And what is she looking for in this field?
She doesn't really know, but she thinks maybe if there's food,
Mm.
so she finds something.
And tell me what happens next.
She goes and she just sits down and then lays down because she's no more energy.
Mm. Okay.
She's
And
been running. It's too much, so she's had to lay down.
mm. And do you know what happened to cause her to run away?
Something. There are attacks in the village or the town square.
Mm. And who attacked these people?
People in people in crafts coming in.
Mm. Okay. What do those people in crafts look like?
Like a cross between like astronauts and soldiers, something in between.
Mm. I see. So, did you have a family in that village?
Yeah, a little girl
Mm.
had had a whole family.
Mm. And what was that family like?
I don't know. I think I'm her guide.
Mm.
I think
Okay.
I'm I'm guiding her.
Mm. You're
She,
guiding this little girl.
yeah, she can't see me, but I am her guide.
Mm.
And I know that there is nothing that can be done.
Mm.
It's causing me a lot of pain, heartache.
Mm. And the little girl, what family or village was she from? What did her people look like?
They're very simple. Um, like a one piece, one item clothing, like a gown or a dress or some sort of robe. It was just one piece. They were all wearing them. Just one.
Mm. Mm. What do these beings
Sandals.
look like?
They're human, I think. They look human.
Mm. And tell me more about your role as a guide to this little girl.
I'm accompanying her very short life.
Mm.
It's to guide her and assist her, but it is also for my own growth, learning.
Mm.
I'm finding it very difficult.
Mm. And tell me more about how you find it difficult.
So I can feel the suffering, I feel the hunger, I feel the pain, I can see and sense, and I tap into all of the suffering.
Mm. It seems like such a big sacrifice for you.
It's part of my uh, growing. I
Mm.
needed to see the other side.
How do you assist this little girl?
With energies and healing, comfort.
Mm. And then tell me what happens next in this little girl's life.
Nothing, because she's exhausted, and she just comes to the end of her
Mm.
physicality. But it was unnecessary. It did not need to be this way.
Mm.
On a soul level, it was what it was, but it on a physical level, she could have had more of an experience. She could have had more of everything.
Mm. So tell me more about that. She could have had more of everything.
It's cut short
Mm.
because of greed and unnecessary dark energies.
Mm. Those
And
beings in the ships.
yeah, I can see the effect. It's very close for me. It's a very quiet experience, but it's very deep.
Mm. And as that little girl comes out of her body, how do you help her as her guide?
I help her understand. She already understands. I ensure that she continues. She's
Mm.
greeted by other ones.
Mm. And what do you do as a guide after the one that you have been guiding passes away? What is your job now?
I return to the in between,
Mm.
to source, to review in the way that one would do with their own physical lives. I would review this experience. It's just simply another experience.
Mm. Mm. It's very interesting. And how do you review your life as a guide?
It would all happen all at once. Would
Mm.
be outside of time and space. But if it was to be slowed down in a human sense, it would be to go through every scene, every experience, understand everything from every single perspective, including my own.
Mm.
And so it is an assimilation of all of the learning and all of the experience.
Mm. What was the learning from this particular experience?
Was to view the suffering from another perspective,
Mm.
view the suffering alongside a very young one. It's very sad,
Mm. And what was the
but also
particular? Sorry, keep going.
also part of part of the growth in the physical. It is sad,
Mm.
sad, but out of the physical, it is understood.
Mm. And so, what was your particular mission?
Was to see the other side of resources being hoarded and weaponized,
Mm.
balancing out. Oh, oh yeah, okay. There's a link then between the craft. I had also played a part on that side of things.
Mm. Can you tell me more about that?
Being in the craft and being a part of the team who was under orders, who was infiltrating the villages and the towns,
Mm.
who were removing resources, keeping them under control.
Mm. And so, was that what we were also seeing in that preview of these two scenes? A scene in the spacecraft and a scene in the field.
Yes, because there were experiences on both sides on the same timeline.
Mm. And were these experiences happening simultaneously?
Yes.
Mm. And so,
One
l-
one part being having one experience and another part having another experience,
mm,
a different angle of the same.
mm. And so, will it be necessary to see that angle of the experiences in the spaceship as well?
Yes.
Okay. So, on the count of three, just want you to make your way to that particular scene in the spaceship, having those particular experiences. We're going to close that scene, and in a moment, I'm going to count backwards from 3 to 1. And as I count backwards from 3 to 1, we're going to travel through that tunnel of time, traveling through time and space to an important day that we are going to view today, that we need to see. And as I count backwards from 3 to 1, you will be there. 3, traveling through time. 2, almost there. And 1, be there now. Allow the images to flow up from your soul as you orient yourself in this place and time, telling me, what do you see around you?
Lots of crafts landing.
Mm.
There are teams of us. And we're there to take resources.
Mm. So why are you taking resources?
These are the instructions. It's not. It's not. It's just a job. It's instructions. This is what we do. We're going in to remove resources so that these ones on the ground, these humans, do not tap into a frequency beyond what they are supposed to tap into.
Mm. Very good. And as you look around in this new place and use all of your senses, I want you to connect very deeply to this scene, very deeply now, and tell me more about what you see or experience around you.
They're running. They're running around, trying to escape,
Mm.
but they cannot. Some of them are trying to plead.
Mm.
They're asking for allowances.
Mm.
They are wanting us to leave them with a certain amount of resources. But we do not. We must remove everything.
Mm. And so, what does that look like? Do you use weapons against them?
Mm. We target the third eye
Mm.
to help close it. And we remove the supplies,
What
the
other
food,
supplies?
the medical supplies, the things that are required for their survival.
Mm. And so, why do it like this? Why not just kill them immediately?
Mm. We do not have those instructions. We have certain instructions.
Mm.
There is no emotion. It's just a set of instructions.
Okay.
We do not
So,
feel much about it.
mm. So as you look at this place and notice everything around you, and you become aware of your point of perception and the place where you're viewing this from, if you look down at your feet, your body, tell me what that looks like.
We shape shift.
Mm.
We can look like a human, and then we are creatures. We are enormous.
Mm. Okay. What does that form look like? Can you describe it?
Big, robust, scaly,
And so you're much bigger than these humanoids.
very, very big, very big.
Mm. And does the body feel masculine or feminine?
More masculine, but not fully.
Mm. And does the body feel young or old?
Neither. Mature,
Mm.
beyond the human measurement.
Mm. And does the body feel healthy?
Strong, yes.
Mm. And as you integrate very fully now into that body and look out through the eyes, are you aware of if you're holding anything in your hands or wearing anything on your head?
We have a when we move, we can move in and out. When we move into the other form, we have somewhat of a uniform.
Mm. What does that uniform look like?
Well, so all I can see is its shape, its moves. It can be all different, like like a combination of spacesuit and
Mm.
some kind of military looking, authoritarian looking
Mm.
costume of some kind.
Mm. Very good. And tell me more about what is happening here as this scene unfolds.
Oh, I see the girl. I see that girl
Mm.
from this perspective, and I notice her. She has a different light. She's a different light to the others.
Mm. Tell me
Very
more about that.
high frequency, very bright light.
Mm.
And I can notice it. I see her. She stands out,
Mm.
and it reaches me.
Mm. And how does this reach you?
I can feel something. I can feel an energy, and there is a warmth that I am curious about. It's different.
Okay. And what else do you
I
notice?
I feel something move, goes off inside of me, and I do not feel the same way.
Mm.
I have an awareness of what are we doing? Why are we doing? And I start to ask why.
Mm. So you
I
start to question.
never, yes, I'd never asked why. I simply followed.
Mm. And why?
It's confusing now.
Mm. Okay. So is there anything else that you need to see before we move on?
There's a sadness,
Mm.
but very slight. It's confusing. I'm confused. I've never felt confusion. And
Mm.
so as we leave, after we have taken all the resources and we have done as requested, there are questions
Mm.
or I want to know more.
Mm. Very good. Now close that scene. Close that scene. And in a moment, I'm going to count backwards from 3 to 1. And as I count backwards from 3 to 1, we're going to travel through a tunnel of time, travel through time and space to another important day in this lifetime that we are viewing, that we need to see today. And as I count backwards from 3 to 1, you will be there. 3, traveling through time. 2, almost there. And 1, be there now. Allow the images to flow up from your soul as you orient yourself in this new place within this lifetime, telling me what you see around you.
Mm. Um, Lots of white light because I left that uh, incarnation.
Mm. And how was it that you left that incarnation? Can you tell me more about how that you died?
A decision. It was a decision
Mm.
made. I had enough of this experience
Mm.
and I exited the body.
Mm.
I was able to just exit.
Mm. And what happened about all of the questions that you had about that particular experience?
I took them with me.
Mm. Is that part of the reason why you decided to leave the body?
Yes, I did not want to continue
Mm.
wanting to experience the other side of that.
Mm.
It was a very significant experience.
Mm.
And so it's important to understand. And from here, I can see this was just an experience, to experience that physicality, to experience the not feeling, to experience those ways of existing. And so wanting now to experience something else.
As you came out of that body, what did you see as you moved back into the white light of Source?
A forgetfulness, turning into a remembrance,
Mm.
light, healing.
And
Oh,
as
it
you
was specific. It was a specific uh, decision to experience that.
mm, the duality of that.
Yes, because if
Mm.
you experience only one side, you do not have the full understanding.
Mm. And as you're back in that white light of home, of source, you allow yourself to integrate. Tell me more about what you feel the lesson was in that lifetime that we've just viewed.
You cannot follow instructions
Mm.
without reason, without understanding. You must have an understanding of what you were doing and why you were doing it.
Mm.
It's very important.
Mm.
And to be able to feel without feeling, then you are under control.
Mm. What was the mission that you came there to experience in that particular lifetime? What did you come there to impart?
Came there to experience both sides as a guide and as the perpetrator.
Mm.
There would have also been experience as being on the receiving end, but there have been many other incarnations for that.
Mm. Okay. And is there anything else that you need to know about that particular experience? Any take home messages that relate to your life today?
They've been balanced because the non feeling has been balanced with the feeling.
Mm.
In this experience as a guide, even though it was a guide, it was felt very deeply. And so it is balanced. There has been other ones too, many other ones.
Mm. And by many other ones, do you mean many other experiences?
Yes,
Mm.
many, many, many of them. There's been a full spectrum of experience in all different directions. This is why the knowledge and the wisdom is gained, the
Mm.
compassion, the love, the empathy, the wisdom, all of this is gained. The only way you gain this is through the experience.
Mm.
So, of course, the more wise and experienced one is, it is because you have experienced so many different facets.
Mm.
Then you do not judge experiences because you can understand them from the different perspectives.
Mm. That's wonderful to remember that. And now we're going to leave that part of ourselves in the white light to continue on with their journey. We're going to leave them there. They will continue on with their journey. They will find what they need to find. And I'd like to ask for all of the consciousness of this one on the bed to reintegrate back into the body. And now I would like to speak with this one's higher self, please. May I speak with this one's higher self? We have been in a very high frequency during the session, and it will be very easy for the higher self to make the necessary connection.
I'm here.
Beautiful. And you could have shown this one many different lifetimes today. Why did you show them the lifetimes that they were shown?
It was important for her to have a direct experience of having seen things from different perspectives. There have been many, many, many experiences, but this was a good example of having experienced something from different perspectives. And so the theme here was around resources, uh, which would be translated now into current times as money and resources,
Mm,
survival needs, everything of this nature. And so it is important to see that lessons have been learned. Lessons have been learned. And so you've had many, she has had many of them. And so there is a need now to put those down, to release some of these now from the energy field as weights. There's perhaps some guilt, some emotional responses to some of these experiences. There have been many, many more, but this was just one snapshot to make
mm,
the example. But it is
mm,
to recognize now that receiving resources in this lifetime now is a very positive thing. It is not to do with leaving people behind or causing any discomfort on anyone else. It is an understanding that that is all been balanced. Everything around money, finances, resources has all been balanced. And this is why this current lifetime, uh, the mission for this current lifetime is a great one. It requires a lot of money flow in order to fulfill the mission on this lifetime, on this timeline. And so it is a deep encouragement now to move forwards with having no guilt or strange sensations around anything concerning receiving and being in overflow and having more than you need. It has been balanced because you have experienced all of the lessons and the wisdom. You are a deeply connected soul. We want her to know that she is a loving soul. She has a great loving heart of an extremely high frequency. She has had many, many experiences since this one that she has experienced. Remembering that this is not linear, there have been a multitude of experiences beyond this one, this recall. This one
mm,
was used as an example. Yes.
mm. And was she a reptilian in that particular lifetime?
Yes.
Mm. And is
And
that why? Sorry, go ahead.
many of the star seeds, the ones that are here to do great things for humanity, their light comes from their experience. And so we share this with a smile, with much love, that when more step out of the judgment and the good, bad, right, wrong energy, and they understand that everything is an extension of everything else, everybody is at different points on the evolution of their soul growth. It is simply that some are further along, some are connected uh, to a higher frequency, and others are on that trajectory.
Mm,
And so the reptilian form, yes, is created in a certain way, but there is still uh, an ability for growth and ascension in all beings, because all beings originate from source.
And is that related to why she felt the targeting from the reptilian beings in the entity release portion of the session as well?
Yes, because those beings will recognize when there is a threat, they will perceive it as a threat to their agendas. And so they are very much aligned with the dark energy, the heavy frequencies, the chaos, the pain, the destruction. This is simply where they vibrate. So when they are aware of other beings who are in opposition to them, as they would see it, those who are polarized towards the light. And so they, yes, they often target ones who hold the light. The starseeds and light beings who are very experienced will have a history with various beings. And so there is more of an interest, perhaps, in those, because you will have had a history, you will have had a connection with these beings. And so they are perhaps more on your radar, so to speak.
Mm, okay.
And there is an interest, there is a fascination also.
Mm. And is there anyone in those lifetimes that we saw that they are incarnated, Marie is incarnated with today in this present lifetime?
Mm. Yes, some of those who were also the reptilians will be connected in different forms. It will be some she has met and some she is yet to meet, because they are also here on the higher timeline. And so they have had a great level of evolution as well. And so they are connecting in this lifetime because they wish to connect. But it is the same as having had many other experiences as many other types of beings in physical forms. For example, many Arcturian starseeds who originate from there. We say originate, but of course, everything originates from source. But those Arcturian ones have, through their desire, for example, to experience and accumulate wisdom, they have chosen many different life forms to incarnate into. And so it is
Mm,
very complex. It's very complex when you start to look at different types of souls and different types of energies who are choosing different types of life forms and experiences. You also have different timelines. None of this is linear.
mm,
And so it is not so simple as to say the last lifetime was a reptilian and this lifetime is a Pleiadian, for example. This is not
mm,
so. It is all happening all at once. And so sometimes from the human perspective, it is difficult to fully comprehend. But we would
mm,
say to hold it lightly and to have an understanding that you have all experienced so many different incarnations. Of course, you have had experiences as different types of beings, because you would have had the desire to connect and know what it feels like. And of course, when you are moving forwards on your ascension, you do not wish to spend many incarnations doing this. There'll be perhaps a lot fewer. You will choose more higher frequency incarnations, but you will have still all had some level of an experience, which is why you will have empathy, because you understand the
mm.
nature.
And is any karma still playing out from these particular experiences?
No, because it has been balanced. And this is what she is needing to be reminded of now.
Mm,
It is cleared. She is
mm,
also mindful of this because she already has an awareness of not accumulating karma in this lifetime. It is why she is so good at letting go. It is why she is so experienced at being able to forgive even those who have caused her much pain in this lifetime. where many perhaps would not have been able to forgive. She has a great capacity to forgive because she is not here to hold on to this. The karma is balanced, and so she is very much here to simply move ahead with the mission and to allow that now to take place.
Mm. And because she was a reptilian taking resources in that particular life, and because she's seen where this originates from, can she release any of those dense feelings that are holding her back?
Yes, this session will have greatly assisted her in releasing those, let us say, human parts that hold on to the imprint. They have a tendency to feel perhaps as if she is doing wrong by receiving. There has
Mm,
been some blockage there around not allowing herself to receive beyond a certain level,
mm,
because there's perhaps some slight worry around receiving too much. And so this is simply residual energies from other timelines. And so having this recall, even though it will seem fairly simple on the surface, underneath there is much energy being released for her so that she can simply understand the bigger perspective. Yes, you can release this now and allow herself to fully receive, because she is here to create a lot of resources simply because the mission requires this in this lifetime.
mm. Can she release that now as the higher self? Can you release that for her now, or will she need to see another lifetime at another time?
It is now for her psyche to catch up, so to speak. So
Mm,
energetically, it is released in her body. It is the thinking patterns to be updated, and so she can start to um, move forwards now with a full knowing that she is here on the higher frequency. She is the being of a high level of light now. She that was simply one part of an experience that humans would say was a very, very long time ago. And
mm,
she has had many experiences on this planet and beyond. She knows herself as being connected now with the Arcturian High Council of Light,
mm,
also the angelic realm where she has done much direct training. She is part of the angelic realm. And so when she knows herself fully in these aspects, she can then allow herself to share her offerings, to allow herself to receive wonderful money flow, to allow
mm,
herself to receive in abundance, because she has an understanding now that money flow and abundance can be held by her in a very beautiful way. And this means that she can also enjoy this for herself. She does not have to be in sacrifice. She is not paying anything back. This is not the energy. She simply gets to receive. And in doing so, she will also pour out into the world because this is her nature. The more money she receives, the more she will ripple through the world, through systems, through structures, through organizations that she is here to set up, partnerships, collaborations, products, services, uh, shifting the consciousness, being very influential in different sectors through her writing or her books to travel around the world. And so, as all of this occurs, she will be pouring out into the world a beautiful abundance, but she must receive the abundance for herself so
mm,
that she can be an overflow. And then this can be magnified, yes, for humanity. She must learn to hold much higher levels now.
mm,
And this is a wonderful gift to the world for anyone to be able to hold these higher amounts, because you are in a physical world where the money flow is still so relevant to you. You must have resources. to be able to thrive in this world. And so, what has happened with the money flow is that humans have been programmed to equate money flow with morality. Money is just an energy, and many humans are not allowing themselves to connect with this energy for various reasons. And so, the star seeds, the light workers, the leaders, the way showers, a very big part of their missions are will now be to allow themselves to connect with money flow and abundance and wealth, because it is a tool that is needed in this timeline.
So, have we identified the root quantum cause of where her money issues come from?
It is less about a root cause and more about a collection of experiences that she has had.
Mm,
And so, because she has done much healing around the area of money consciousness, because she is also here to teach this to
mm,
others, she has already been shifting and releasing. And so, this experience that she has connected into today has just been another piece in allowing herself to understand, for the lights to be switched on
mm,
and for her to move forwards. Yes. So it is really for her to really listen to this, to receive this when she plays it back.
mm,
Let it sink into her consciousness
mm,
and simply move forwards now. But she is already starting to do this.
mm. And could I also ask you to do a scan of this one's physical and energetic body, just to tell me if there are any entities or energies attached to them that should not be there?
Everything is as it should be, yes. And
Wonderful.
she's also understood the need to do daily practices to strengthen her field, protect her field, um, and to tune into herself daily. This way, she will be able to detect anything that does not feel correct in her energy field. And so, she will also be developing some protocols, some ways of doing this. When she does them for herself, she will also share these in the world for others.
Wonderful. Is
Yes.
there any healing or help required by the physical body at this time?
No, everything is good, and she also has an awareness of the some of the daily habits that will assist her. Yes.
Okay. Like the massive sugar cravings.
Yes, some of this was related to the AI devices that were several of them that were causing interruptions in the energy field.
Mm,
So she should also feel that this has assisted.
mm,
Yes, and there are also some emotional reasons for her reaching for these things.
mm,
There has been much going on in her world recently, but these again will even out. This is not a significant issue of any kind.
Okay. So she can release these sugar cravings.
Yes, and she does not necessarily want to stop all of it because she very much likes to enjoy certain things, but there is a balance. She has a balance when she is not interfered with energetically, and so she can allow herself to restore back to balance.
Okay, wonderful. And she was having feelings of being low, lethargic, and uninspired. Is that also due to the devices on the body?
Yes, this was the intention of the devices to um, reduce her life force energy and to slow her down, weigh her down. And so she will find naturally that she restores again back into balance. There will be a natural feeling sometimes of feeling tired because there are a lot of frequencies on your planet at the moment, a lot of manipulations and things happening. But this is a, so to speak, a normal level. And so she will identify that this is more natural. What she was experiencing was more to do with the infiltration, but this has now been cleared and restored.
Mm. Do prayers to source energy help with the massive levels of infiltration and interference with the humans?
Could you repeat the first part?
Do prayers to source energy, like calls to source energy, does this help with like the stopping the massive interference on humans on the earth plane and warfare that's been going on?
Yes, a lot of the attacks, that we will use that word, attacks on humans, come from a lack of awareness. And they come from the sneaky ways that they infiltrate. And so once one is aware of the different ways, they can, with their intention, yes, put up protections around this. And yes, connecting to the light, connecting to source,
Mm,
God, whichever words and energies that they feel most connected with. It really does not matter the wording. But yes, they can use their prayers or intentions, their declarations. Um, yes, simply we would say asking and stating and intending and asking for assistance, yes, for your energy field to be protected. Yes, this will be of great benefit.
mm. Beautiful. I just wondered if that could help with the situation on Earth with everything that's going on to send those calls out to the source energy.
Yes, because a human has such capabilities. And so, this is why many humans for so long have not been connected with their innate power. They are very powerful. Humans are very powerful. And you know this because it has taken a lot of work over thousands of years to disconnect the human. They could not do this overnight. And so, because humans are so powerful, they forget that they themselves have their own innate power to be able to do this. Still, many will need assistance, yes, in sessions and various ways of working, but it is still open to the human to connect directly to themselves and to their divine teams and to God source for assistance because light is the most powerful energy. There is nothing more powerful,
Mm,
and so many humans do not fully uh, fully know this, but there is a move now towards this. More and more are understanding this and tapping into this, which is
mm,
part of the ascension, yes.
mm. So if we call out to source with our free will, is there interventions are able to be done?
Yes, yes, because as you know, this is a free will universe. And so even when one has many guides, which many of you already know this, uh, we can, we are always here to assist, but we cannot do so when we are not specifically asked, because it is up to each and every one of you as to whether you want to be assisted or whether you want to try and do it yourselves. There are many options for you. And so all you need to do is ask, yes, and we will assist.
Mm,
Guides are
beautiful.
always happy. Yes.
Wonderful. And as are all of her chakras spinning and open as they should be? Is the aura all intact?
Yes, the energy points will start to build and strengthen over the next couple of days again, once again. It will recover from the devices that were infiltrating. And so, yes, these are all on track.
Beautiful. And is there any upgrades that she can benefit from today?
Nothing specifically because it is all a continuation. And so she will just simply continue. Yes,
Mm,
as she is.
mm. And she wanted to know, how can she best be of service to the world through her existing business and offerings?
Yes, there is as she is feeling, there is a requirement now for her to take the next forward steps. And so we would say to speak openly and bravely, we would say now about the things that she knows, the things that she has been experiencing, being very open now with the ways that she can assist people. Sometimes she is very uh, quiet, perhaps, or she downplays because there is perhaps a fear of being seen as being too much or too confident, and so on. And so to release this now and to just step into the being that she is, which she came here to help channel through energies, informations, codes, activations, to assist with healings. Yes. And to do this work with people who resonate with her. And so, really, people must know that she is here. And so, we say this with a smile because we know that this is a journey that she's been on. And so, what will assist her now is to share more of her content from these sessions that she has been conducting, her own experiences, sharing her stories. She is a storyteller. And so to not hold herself back from telling the stories, she has picked up perhaps some ideas from outside as to why perhaps this is not a good idea, to release all of what she has picked up and to simply follow her own soul's trajectory. She is here to share even random things that she thinks about, some beliefs that she has, some ideas that she has, creative impulses. Her content does not need to make sense, so to speak. It does not need to be targeted in any way or to be structured in a specific way, as many human specialists would perhaps advise. And we would say for her to share, be messy, share whatever comes through that day, because it all is coherent. It all goes towards the mission. And she is multifaceted. And so when you are multifaceted, you will have many different angles to share. And so just to not hold back now, to share and release whatever comes through, whether it is something funny or something silly or something powerful or a story or a clip or a recording or a channeling, whatever she feels, and she can simply share from her heart, allow people to look at her offerings. She is not forcing anyone to do anything. She is simply sharing. And so this will benefit her. No holding back now.
How can she allow her work messages and content to be seen more by the right people?
Again, along the lines of this, simply not to hold back anymore, not to try and speak in a certain way, to be mindful of how certain people may take the messages, simply to release all that, know and trust and be fully connected with everything that comes through is coming through from a higher frequency. She channels a very high frequency team. And so we are here to assist humanity. And so when she remembers this and connects in, as she is connecting in with us daily now, she can simply allow herself to speak. And so the right people will hear. And those people who are not yet ready will simply not gravitate, and that is okay.
She needed some guidance as well on getting her second book finished and ready to launch because she was finding it difficult.
Yes, she has been getting into her head a little bit more than necessary about this book. There is a certain pressure sometimes that she puts on herself. She wants this book to be a wonderful offering, and this is a beautiful thing. But sometimes she gets in her own way because she sometimes doubts her ability to write, or she questions whether or not it is interesting enough. And so we smile as we share this because it does not always feel so interesting to her because she is so familiar with the content, but she forgets that there are so many in the world that are waiting to hear these things, waiting to be taught in these ways and to have their minds and hearts expanded. And so when she moves out of this belief that perhaps it is not so interesting, she can tap into the those people who are really needing to hear the content and read the content of this book. And so she will find that perhaps she will benefit from choosing a day where she simply spends one day connecting into the book with no other distractions. And so once she immerses herself in this way, she will connect in, and then the book will take begin to have traction. Sometimes she must work this way. She's a little all or nothing in many ways, and so it benefits her if she immerses herself to connect. And once she has this connection, she will be able to work in smaller chunks, but initially just to allow the flame to be lit, so to speak.
And she wondered why she's been feeling so lethargic and lightheaded and weak in the body. Is that because of what we've removed from the body today?
Yes, a combination of factors. So yes, the aspects that you removed today, even though they had only been affecting her energy field for a number of weeks, these were quite heavy for her, so they have been affecting her. As she already knows that this was part of her training, so sometimes she will experience these ways because it is important for her to experience directly as part of her training so she can strengthen herself and also teach others when relevant. And so partly it was to do with this, and partly, yes, there are things on the planet right now in the location that she is in, and also the weather manipulation that is occurring, and a lot of illness in the collective. A lot of people are struggling with their, for various reasons, different substances in the bodies, and so there is a lot of collective illness and a lot of humans exiting. This is continuing. This has been continuing on your planet and will continue for some time. And so there is a lot of grief energy on the planet, even if you are not connected directly. And so all of this helps to create a heavy frequency. And so some of this is being picked up naturally. This is a natural part, yes, of being on Earth in the present time. But yes, much of this was also the devices that have now been removed. So she will feel things a lot more easily now to move
Yeah.
forwards.
And what can she do to increase her energy levels and feel reconnected to her mission?
Mm. She is starting to do this again in the last day, but to connect back into herself as the magical being that she is. She resonates very deeply with the magic, the frequency of light, fun, playfulness. She taps into this so deeply. And so when she does this, everything else flows. And so this is one of the most important things for her, to tap into this feeling of magic and lightness. She's very good at cultivating this for herself with music and the environment. She's a very sensual being, and so she can tap into the enjoyable aspects of the physical life, and these serve her greatly for her mission. And she also is also already aware of the changes of getting herself into a better routine with her sleep, uh, and exercising, yes, and to move her body. This is very important to her as a channel and a holder of so much light. There is a need to move the energy through the body, yes. So these things will assist.
Wonderful. Speaking of bodies, what can she do right now? Specific things to assist her beloved on his healing and recovery journey.
Yes, we first want to acknowledge that there's been great work that she has assisted with him already. And so to give herself the understanding that, yes, not having done some clearing sessions with him for the last few weeks was very necessary because she needed to restore herself. And that was a very wise decision. And so now that she has had this clearing today, she will now feel better equipped to move forward with some of these clearing sessions. And so some more targeted, focused clearing sessions in the way that was spoken of earlier today will assist. Um, and to trust herself with where she is guided. Once she is in a connection with her beloved, we encourage her to really follow what is coming through. She's very much here to help with his healing. This was their contract as well, and so to trust what is coming through for her, so that she can simply follow. But she's already doing this. She's already doing it.
Mhm. And how can his skin itching be helped?
Yes, this will be. There will be reasons for this, and so in the way that she has experienced herself, there is a divine timing in connecting into the root causes or previous experiences that are linked. And so know that you are walking your way towards understanding this, and there is a timing for him. And so know that everything can be healed, and so this is temporary, to know and to reassure him, as you have been doing, that this is temporary. And so he is also participating in his own healing journey, and to remember that it is also his decisions and timing as well. And you are assisting him. And so this will continue.
And how can we be helped with our physical bodies and chronic pain?
Yes, it'll be different for each one because each one is holding uh, the the either the what you would call the illness or the dis-ease in the body, the physical manifestation of the emotional and the energetic buildup. And so humans and they are starting to really understand now the correlation between the physical manifestations and the energetic root cause, which is also connected to the emotions. And so each one is invited to uh, make a decision for themselves to devote themselves now to their own healing. One of the most important things that anyone can do is make a decision to decide now that they are on the healing trajectory. Many humans, so many of them, do not reach even the point of decision. And so, because they have not clearly decided, they remain in the frequency of ill health, pain, struggle, and difficulty. And what we invite you to do and remind you, each of you, is to make a decision, yes, and decide that you are now moving down a healing path. And once you do this, this is where you will receive guidance, you will receive synchronicity, you will receive the right teacher, the right session, the right invitation, the right message. And so you will be co creating, but it really does stem from the initial decision that you are now going to allow yourself to move down a recovery and healing path. It's very, very powerful.
Mhm. Wonderful. And she also wanted to grow a wonderful community. It's called Inside Light Club. What is the best way for her to do this? Grow this community?
Mm. Yes, first of all, it is to trust that the idea for Light Club was brought through by her soul and her higher self and part of her mission. And so to take off the pressure around it, to simply create the space inside, as she has already begun to do, that she loves to be in. So if she starts to really feel that she loves to be in that space, doing things in there that light her up, sharing and channeling and giving information and support and guidance inside this with those wonderful beings who are already a part of it, if she enjoys herself in there, she will naturally attract in and magnetize more wonderful people who wish to also join this community, and just to simply allow it to build and grow in its own time. But we also remind her that she must share and speak. Nobody will know that it exists if she does not mention uh, the existence. And so we are, with humor, encouraging her to perhaps share some information with people, that she has this space for them. Um, Sometimes she is a little quiet on this. And so we are encouraging her to, as we have already encouraged her on other matters, to simply share it and speak now, share about it as much as she wishes, be excited and proud of this space. The way that she would share with people if she wrote read an amazing book or watched an incredible film or movie, she would love to share with people how wonderful this is and that they should think about watching or reading. uh, the same energy she can apply to her own communities. Just because they are her own communities, she can still share with people that she feels that they should join and that this is a wonderful space. And so sometimes she just does not do this. Um, and so, yes, she has released more now, more things impacting her. So she will probably feel that it is easier now to simply share this wonderful space.
Beautiful. And I feel like this has already been answered, but what else does, if it's possible, does she need to let go of or step into to take action on to create more money flow in her business, to move forwards in her mission?
Now we would say, now it is the mindset, what you would call the mindset piece. Um, Sometimes there is a great deal of focus uh, in certain communities on the mindset. And of course, this is a very small part of healing and ascension and expansion. And so it's the energetics that are the most powerful part of all of these aspects. But when one has done a lot of this, they have done a lot of energetic clearings and healings and release and connecting in and activations, there then comes a time where the mindset piece is the icing on the cake, so to speak. And so she will now benefit from getting back into a certain kind of mindset, a certain type of thinking around her offerings, her mission, her work, who she is, and start to tap into this. It is very, very easy now for this to strengthen because she has done all of the other deep, deep aspects. And so tapping into some mindset reminders, she already knows how to do this. She has lots of ways that she likes to do this. Um, will assist her and to focus every morning. Yes, to get back into first thing in the morning to start her day with a reminder of the timeline she is on, the multidimensional aspect of her, reminding herself of what her mission is, reminding herself that she is not doing this alone, connecting with her team before she even begins to put anything out there, to do it in a co creation, and to trust and know that success is already here. Yes.
Mm. Would it help her to connect into that expansive energy as well?
Yes, yes. And this is what she does when she gets into the connection with her team and she channels. Channeling automatically helps her expand. It automatically does this. So even if she was to start her day with being in channel, it will open up all the doors for her, and it will make all of the rest of the day a lot easier because she will simply know the next steps and what
Mhm.
is required. Yes.
Yes, because the mindset, as I viewed it, sort of feels like a box that we place ourselves in.
Yes, it is very human constructed. And so the mindset really comes more from the current lifetime, the current experience. It does not so much come from other timelines and other uh, experiences. That is the energetics, is a lot deeper. So when you have released and you've connected to yourself in this way, the mindset is more the day to day, the day-to-day practices so that it is just the part that helps you connect each day. Yes.
And does energy of excitement relate to the energy of abundance?
Yes, very much. We would say it does not mean that you cannot receive money, abundance in all forms when you are not feeling excited, because some hold themselves back in this way. They feel that they must be in a high frequency at all times to be able to receive. This is not so, because you have had many experiences where you can receive good things when unwanted things are happening. But we are saying when there is a certain kind of thinking around the money and the abundance itself, this will cause it to slow down. And so this can be the block. And so you can, for example, feel upset in one area of your life, but there is nothing going wrong with your money flow. And so tapping into the area of excitement and magic and wonderment and play and lightness and joy all serve. Yes, but we would say you do not have to feel this in all areas, because this is a condition then that you may place on yourself. And so, if you're thinking specifically on money, yes, if you can get into more of a lightness around this, will serve you greatly. Many humans put so much seriousness onto the subject of money and abundance, and they feel the opposite, which is the scarcity, lack, energy. And this does not feel so magical and joyous. So, if when you are feeling or seeing signs of scarcity or lack, if you can tap into a feeling of trust, get into the playful nature, set that to one side for a moment, and get into a playful nature, perhaps even on another subject, this will assist you greatly. So, if thinking about money and abundance causes you to feel heavy, um, we would say we're not saying to ignore it, but to set it aside for one moment and bring in a topic that you can feel excited around. And some of you can simply just allow yourselves to imagine how you would feel if you had much more abundance in your life. And you can play and enjoy those thoughts. This helps you significantly. Yes.
Mm. So is it like an energy of like an excitement, abundance, expansion sort of? So I'm trying to describe this energy, but I'm not doing it very well with words.
Those are wonderful words, yes, but we know what you are referring to. It is sometimes hard to put into an human description, but we would say how you would feel. It is more to do with the feeling of when you are feeling playful and light, when you are relaxed. You don't need to overthink. You simply are. You are simply just being. So, for some of you, just watching something, your favorite film, and relaxing is just easy. Sometimes when you play with your pets, you feel relaxed and easy. It is these tapping into these effortless energies, and you all have them in certain areas. So whichever areas you can tap into, we would encourage you to amplify them. If doing certain things or being in a certain way helps you access a certain state, amplify this for yourself when you know that it is healthy and it is good for you. And so yes, it is all to do with uh, we would say it is also to do with trust. When you trust and you are able to trust that everything really is okay, even if it is unwanted, if you have a bigger perspective and you know yourself as multidimensional, many of you have had so many incarnations. You have uh, ended incarnations in lots of different ways. And so you have always survived. When you know yourself as multidimensional, you know that you survive everything. There is nothing you cannot survive because here you still are. You
Mm.
exist right now. And so when you tap into this, you know that those human hiccups, those moments of lack that you may experience sometimes, if you remember that, you will always survive. You do not get so caught up in the seriousness. And we say this knowing that many of you do feel that you have serious money flow and scarcity and lack energies. But if you go beyond this and know that on a higher level, everything will be okay. You tap into this energy, and this then becomes what you create. This can feel very confusing sometimes when one does not fully understand the energetics of what we are saying, but we are attempting to keep it simple so that you can simply allow yourself to tap into some ability to breathe better, to know that everything changes, to remember that you have survived every single experience that you've ever had. You've always moved through it somehow because you know this because you are here right now receiving these words. And so it is not always so big and heavy as you may perceive that it is. And to allow for magical synchronicities, for what you would call good luck, which is
Mm.
really just energy, miracles to occur, which again is really just energy flowing the way that it should. And so we hope that this assists you to step out of the heaviness and to remember that this is just an experience like many, many others. You've had so many lifetimes where you've experienced a great deal. And so, of course, you can move through whatever your current challenges are because this is all part of your soul growth. And in the end, everything is light, everything is okay.
Is there anything else that needs her attention in life, her business or her mission that she's not currently seeing at the moment?
She's very aware now. She's very aware, and some of the pieces she has clicked into today are serving her to move forwards. And so this is enough for where she is now. And so to simply allow herself now to express, it is coming back now to expressing herself, sharing her messages, her thoughts. Her messages don't need to be long. Sometimes they can be short. Sometimes they can be what she would describe as random, just impulses that come through her to share. Even if they feel silly or funny, they all serve a purpose. And we would just reiterate to spend some time immersed with the book over one day with no interruptions. And this will help ignite that flame again because this book is an important book to release, a wonderful offering. And as she knows, there is also another book coming through. And beyond those first three books, there are many stories now that she wishes to bring through. And so reminding her that she is a storyteller to help shift consciousness. This is another way that she does it. And she has so many stories, um, fiction that she wishes to create and bring through to expand people in the most delightful ways. So as she moves through this book and the third book, which will feel very fulfilling for her when she has the three books, it will then give way to the most delightful creations where she will have a lot of fun, so much fun, an expansion, bringing through these stories for the collective. And so this is something to greatly look forward to. And this is a huge part of her soul's blueprint and her mission. So we just remind her that this is something to very much be excited about stepping into as well.
Mm. Wonderful. And is there any final messages for this one?
To believe in yourself, to even do more than believe in yourself, to remember yourself now as a multidimensional being, to connect into the fact that you have had so many experiences in a vast amount of timelines. You have learnt a great deal, and so to diminish your own ability does not make any sense. And so we leave you with this reminder that you are an extension of the Arcturian Council, the angelic realm. You are an extension of these energies now dropped into the physical form. And so to move forwards with this knowing. And when you know this, there will be no room for doubt. You simply move and you make the moves that you need to and that are now required as part of your mission.
Mm. Beautiful. And can I ask you to keep upgrading the body and continuing with any healing that may be needed by this one over the next 3 nights in their sleep states?
Yes, we will continue to assist. Yes.
Yeah, wonderful. And is there anything else, or are we complete?
We are complete, and we would like to thank you for your assistance and for opening up a very safe space for her to connect, because um, she likes a certain energy to work with in this deep way, and we greatly appreciate your assistance with her. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Beautiful. Thank you for coming through today and conversing with me. Thank you for all of the help, healing, and wisdom you've provided today.